Hello everybody, video here for you today. This is going to be, what is this going to be? I guess a state of the, like an NFL kind of update. Mostly featuring the Commanders, the Washington Commanders. But I'll also talk about some of the other things in the NFL. I do have a roster. Change anything? Save it anyway. I have a roster. I don't know if it's available for the other platforms, but I'm on PC, so I don't know if those are different. Um, but you got to dig deep, download community files, and go to roster. Come on. And sort by date, so it's the most recent first. And as you can see, there's my free agent roster. And I did a big update today, making sure that the top 100 free agents still unsigned are released from their old teams if they haven't been already. There were some still on their old teams. So now they are not. So 6 dislikes, and that was like the first week I did this, and I've been doing this. I've been updating it daily for a long time. I got those 6 likes like in the first week, and since then it's been, I mean, dislikes. Um, but since then it's been only likes. So cool, cool, cool. So that is uploaded. So feel free to enjoy that. Let me load that roster again so we can view it. Okay. Let's see, what else do we want to do? We want to give my plugs. Should have done that right at the beginning. I apologize. Just bringing up my whoops. Wrong thing. That's the one we want. Just want to go back over here. There's my plugs. I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. You can do that if you're having money problems, or if you're not and you just want to make sure you're on the right track. You can email me about coaching or anything on my YouTube channel, like Oak Island, like the NFL, Washington Commanders stuff, um, any video games, computer stuff, anything you want to talk about. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Coach Steve Money, gmail.com. Channel donations can go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. You can add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. And of course, the YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. All right. So we'll leave that up and to load. Loaded the roster already, so just edit, go into it. Let's take a look at where the Commanders are. You got Sam Howell is QB1 until he loses it. If Jacoby Brissett beats him for the job, Brissett will be starting. But they would like Sam Howell to show enough to do that. The years of experience on here is 1 year delayed. It's one more than the numbers on here. So Sam Howell has 1 year. He played in the last game, beating I think it was pretty much all the starters of the Dallas Cowboys, and he was able to beat them in the last Washington Commanders game, last regular season game. So hopefully he'll be able to do that. It'd be nice to have a franchise quarterback, or even one that can just play for 3 or 4 years that they can keep. Brian Robinson, Antonio Gibson, Patterson Williams. So that's probably good on that. They do have a fullback. They normally let a tight end handle the fullback, the run blocking duties. But they do have a fullback on the roster at the moment. I mean, you can I mean, the top 3 wide receivers for any team, maybe the best ones, got McLaurin, Samuel, and Dotson, first round pick last year. So he has 1 year of experience now. And what was I going to say about this? Oh yeah, you normally in franchise, I normally end up so Dotson can play more. I normally end up trading away Curtis Samuel because Curtis Samuel has all his guaranteed money paid out already, and so he has no penalty to be released or traded. So I normally trade him out for a pick in the next year's draft when I start a franchise. I've usually done that. For tight end, Logan Thomas. Logan Thomas was just getting back from injury and just seeming to pick up. They may grab another one in the draft. As you can see, they're not highly rated. The ones underneath him. So we'll see what they do there. They said they wanted to get younger on the offensive line, and they've already started doing that. They'll probably draft at least one offensive lineman in the draft this year. Leno returns, Norwell returns, Roulier returns. He's only 29 though. They signed Nick Gates. I don't know if they have him starting. He may be because Roulier was out for most of last year with an injury, and so maybe he's backup insurance for if Roulier can't play. Cosme switching from right tackle to right guard, and so that seems to be a better position for him, and so that's what they're going to do. And they signed Andrew Wiley to start at right tackle. And so, like I said, they probably will get at least one in the draft, one offensive lineman. Chase Young and Montez Sweat on the ends. Plenty of backups to choose from. Don't know how many they'll keep. Obata probably is the highest rated one in Madden anyway. So probably the best one. They have 3 top 2 excellent. The Bama boys, Jonathan Allen, Jerron Payne. Fidarian Mathis, also from Bama. All 3 of these top guys from Bama here. But Fidarian Mathis got hurt in the first game, and so he missed the entire rest of the year. I think it was like close to the first play. And he got hurt. So, but he is still highly rated, coming into the league at a 71. In Ridgeway, they picked up as an undrafted free agent, and he was able to give Payne and Allen a rest because he was the 3rd string last year. So that should be good. And rushers, you think they would be fine. With these guys on the roster, but I read something about maybe they'll look at some edge rushers in the draft. You probably want to do something at outside linebacker there. They signed Barton to replace Holcomb, who went to Pittsburgh. And so they signed Barton, and those guys, I believe, are the same age, and they both have 4 years of experience now. And we got Jamin Davis on the right outside. So that's good. So as far as starter, I only need one on the left side. And it was I think it was mostly Mayo that was in there we needed. For cornerback, they still have Kendall Fuller, and they claimed off waivers from the Vikings Cameron Tiny Dantzler. And so he's a 3-year veteran, and he'll be only 24, and so that's a nice young corner there. 87 speed. That's all right. That could possibly get the job done. Rowe, I don't remember. I wonder if that's an accident being on there. I can't remember him being signed. He probably definitely wouldn't have 21 anyway. But you got Juiced backing up the top guys there, and he has 2 years of experience now. Danny Johnson returning as well as home, Cutterfield, Wild Goose. And Troy Apke is, if he makes the team, it will be for special teams reasons. 2 or 3 of these guys, the young guys, might be on the practice squad. You got Derek Forrest and Cameron Curl, starting safeties. Percy Butler has 1 year of experience, and he seemed to do well. They sometimes did a 3 safety set in the back, and that took the place of that left outside linebacker that was missing. Not that highly rated of one, and so that's a possibility. They just re-signed yesterday, I think it was, Jeremy Reeves. He is a special teams Pro Bowler as of last year. And so they signed him on a 1-year contract. And you got Sly and Way kicking and punting. And that's the dealio on that. As far as what they would get, well, we'll look at Mel Kiper Jr.'s mock draft in a second. Is that what we want to do now? Let's talk about just some league updates. So the Dolphins, there's only 31 picks in the first round this year because the Dolphins got in trouble because they had impermissible contact with quarterback Tom Brady while he was with the Patriots and the Buccaneers, and impermissible contact with the agent of former Saints head coach Sean Payton while Payton was still with the Saints. And so they're trying to, do that collusion that, where they try to build a team by getting Tom Brady and Sean Payton there at the same time. Trying to win that championship, yo. All right. Oh, Splendid Dolphins owner. I did not know that as well. So there are only 2 players. I mean, or there's only 31 picks because they lost their first round pick and their 3rd, I think. 3rd round pick in the 2020 next year's draft. Okay, so I guess it's so as to not, hurt their chances this year, I suppose. Let's see, where do I need to go back to this? No, but Aaron Rodgers, supposedly. Much of the work was done. Albert Breer from CBS Sports reported that much of the work was done on the Aaron Rodgers to New York Jets trade, but supposedly the Niners are interested and they would send Trey Lance to the Packers for Aaron Rodgers. So that is all up in the air. So in my my free agent roster that I have, I still have him on the Packers because he's still on the Packers. Let's see what else we got. Oh, I wanted to look at let's look at the top free agents. You can hear the thunder. I have a little storm here in Cabot, Arkansas. Top free agents available, and this is they're ordered by the Madden ratings here. But these should basically be the top 100 still available. Got Byron Jones there leading the charge. I think he was with the Patriots last year, or the Cowboys. I can't remember. Speaking of the Cowboys, you got Ezekiel Elliott. Now he is still on the Cowboys, but he has been designated a June 1 cap casualty. So if they release him after June 1st, they can put half of the penalty on this year and half next year. So that's how you do that NFL accounting. As far as the Commanders, Miles Jack from he was with Pittsburgh. Holcomb took his place. Ben Jones, 10-year veteran. Washington wants to get younger on the offensive line. But anyway, these top guys, probably Washington won't be involved. The free agent signings are down to a trickle right now going into the draft. Most of the signing is done, so most of these guys are going to sit there until Elliott, of course, won't be available until after June 1st for a team to sign, but and possibly Patriots for him. But Washington probably not in the market for any of these top guys. Maybe like down here once they start getting into the 70 rankings in Madden, then maybe some of these guys. Like that'd be a nice player. Pretty young still. How old? 26. Has 5 years of experience now, and so I forget what team he was on, but they probably picked up his 5th-year option. And so he played on that last year, and they decided not to keep him this year. But any of these players would still be good. Rock Yassin is still, or Yasin, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But he is still available, 4 years of experience. And the 4 years is the average rookie deal, or the normal rookie type deal. There's Risner. He is a young offensive lineman, a guard, and I don't know really why he got released. I also don't know why he's 27 and he only has 4 years. This will be 4 years of his experience. So maybe he stayed in college longer. Maybe he took longer to maybe he was injured in college. And had some extra eligibility, and so stayed in college longer, while just continuing to be on the football team and hopefully get that degree as well. But he took longer. Maybe it was, like I said, maybe he was hurt in college, redshirted, so had extra eligibility. I'm not sure, but that would explain how he is 27 and has only 4 years of experience. So 28 now, probably, or will turn 28 during the season. Let's see if anybody else is interesting here in the 70s. Ronald Darby was on Washington's team previously, a couple years ago. Alexander Johnson, I don't know what his deal is. He has 5 years of experience. Actually, I think he was in the free agent list much of last year as well. So I don't know if, I mean, I'm not. I'm just trying to figure out why I'm not trying not trying to put any dispersions on Alexander Johnson. I just don't know. But like normally when that happens, it's like I mean he could be also overrated in Madden maybe, but it could also be he had legal trouble of some type, and so that's why no team signed him. Um, that kind of thing. But that would be something to look at for a team. But he is 30. That's probably why he got why he wasn't picked up because he was already 30 years old. So he'll be 31 this year. Still 81 speed, not bad. That should be fine for a middle linebacker if you need one. Um, 5 years experience, Isaiah Wynn. That might be a good tackle pickup for somebody. Let's see. T.Y. Hilton released from the Dallas Cowboys. They signed. Who did they sign? Brandon Cooks. They got Brandon Cooks, and I think they released two fairly big name receivers. Saffold, 12 years of experience, dog, 34. That's not how you get younger, but if he can still play, he can still play. Let's see if anybody else is. Do I have any? J.D. McKissick, Washington released him. It's possible they released him because he was injury prone, and so even if he's available and nobody else wants him, I don't know if they would sign him just because of the injury thing. So we'll see. Ioannidis used to be on Washington, and he went somewhere else last year. But whoever that was, I can't remember who it was, released him this year. Panthers, maybe. So, and he has 7 years of experience. But Washington is loaded at DT already, so no need for that. Sammy Watkins was on the Patriots. I know he was on the Patriots at some point. I don't know if that was Trey Turner released by Washington last year as they again try to get younger and better probably. So I don't know if they would re-sign him. Let's see, Malcolm Butler. If nobody picks him up and you're getting ready to go into the season and sign somebody, you're going to get them a whole lot cheaper than if you try to get them immediately. So you got to get those bargains to fit under the salary cap. Eli Apple from the Ohio State University. He was last with the Bengals, I believe. Cornerback U. Trying to see if there would be Con Alexander. Anybody else what Washington might be interested in? Matt Ryan, probably be somewhere backing up. David Moreau used to be on the Commanders a long time ago. Kendall Sheffield from the Ohio State University. Cornerback U. N'Keal Harry, he was all the rage. He started out got drafted in the first round, I think, by the Patriots, and has not lived up to that potential. Just want to get through the 70s. Josh Norman stayed on the free agent list all through last year, I think. And so 34, he's getting up there. Might be able to still play a little bit. Might could ball out for somebody. Teddy Bridgewater, another quarterback. If there's any injuries or something like that, I would imagine they'd rather have Teddy than Matt Ryan, maybe, whoever, whatever team. It's not just Washington. Quentin Dunbar used to be on the Commanders. So did that was Adam Humphries. Another center, 9 years experience. Guard, 9 years experience. DJ Swearinger Sr. Is playing for the USFL team in Washington, D.C. this year. I saw he got signed by them. So he could still, end up, somebody could still sign him in the show after, because the USFL will be all over by that time. By the time the NFL starts. Just running through to show you the name. Jimmy Moreland used to be on Washington. But there are a lot of cornerbacks. That has been a while, though. Yeah, I'm going to stop at 70. So Josh Gordon, wide receiver. Still running at 89 speed. Tom Compton used to be on Washington. I think they drafted him. He's been jumping around, bouncing around the league there. Bashad Breeland, another Washington cornerback. He had his good moments there, certainly. Eric Flowers was on Washington for 2 or 3 years. John Bostic was on. He was on the Washington Commanders last year, as a matter of fact. But not under contract for this year, at least not yet. I mean, they could always pick him up. He knows the defense. So you never know. All right, that's enough of this. Sean Davis was, I think, unless I'm thinking of somebody else. I know I'm not thinking of, oh my gosh, can't remember his name now. Sean Taylor. But I think Sean Davis was with Washington for a year or so as well. Okay, what else do we want to look at? How about the draft? Okay, so again, there's only 31 picks. If you don't know, the Panthers traded with the Bears. So the Bears moved down to 9. And I forget what else they got with that. They got another pick or 2, I think, for that. And so the Panthers can move up to number 1. And Kiper has Young going first, ahead of Stroud from the Ohio State University. Supposedly, a lot of people think Stroud wilts under pressure when he's rushed. I think he did better in big games than Bryce Young did. Bryce Young, I mean, Bryce Young was certainly a reason they didn't score points in those. How many did Bama lose? 3 or 4 games? So, and of course, Ohio State only lost 2, being one to the team up north in the regular season finale and in the game, and they lost to the champs of Georgia by 1 point. So Stroud scored plenty of points to win that game. That was just bad defense for that one. And at the end there, they couldn't run it to get closer for the field goal. They tried a weird play to run it, I think, on the first down, and then second down they ended up passing. It was incomplete, and so They ended up trying a long field goal and it went way, way, way left. Let's see. So, but anyway, so we'll see how he does. Ohio State quarterbacks, not the best in the NFL. Um, you got Fields in Chicago, and so jury's still out on him. So we'll see. Kiper has 4 quarterbacks going first, and some people supposedly think Richardson and both Richardson and Levis are better than Stroud. We'll find out next week. What is it? 20th? I think it's 28th. So eight more days until the draft, and then we'll find out about that. But so that's what they have. They have Texans taking Stroud with the second pick. And then Titans and Colts taking Richardson, and Levis has left the building. Hope they say that. They won't. But I hope they say that when he's drafted. Ladies and gentlemen, Levis has left the green room. Seahawks get Jalen Carter in this mock draft, and on some people's boards, Jalen Carter from Georgia is the best player available in the draft this year. So Will Anderson from Bama. Gotta have edge rushers to get after those quarterbacks for the Lions. Witherspoon, first corner to go to the Raiders. Nolan Smith, rusher. Falcons. And then some tackles, right? And Goransky to the Bears and Eagles. Tyree Wilson to the Cardinals, edge rusher. From the Ohio State, who can put some wide receivers in the league. Some really good ones as well. Jackson Smith and Jigba, who played just a little bit his last year at Ohio State last year. Most of the season he did not play. So hopefully he'll completely come back from that injury. And can that's not bad though. You get Bryce, or where is it? You get C.J. Stroud and his wide receiver he's used to throwing to, Smith and Jigba. You can't beat that. I don't think. Let's see, Broderick Jones, offensive tackle from Georgia. Oh, Georgia and Ohio State both have 3 picks in this top 31. I don't think anybody else has any more than 2. Bama has 2 I know of. I didn't really check each individual team to make sure, or college to make sure. Where were we? Christian Gonzalez, second cornerback off of the board to the Patriots. And Dalton Kincaid, tight end from the Utah Utes to the Packers. Now, if Joey Porter Jr., cornerback, is available when the Washington Commanders pick at 16, I will be overjoyed. I mean, the only way it would be better than getting Porter, in my opinion, would be if they could get Young or Stroud to be quarterback. But like the rest of these players here, Porter would be my pick, even ahead of probably the other 2 corners. But you got to draft them, and then we'll see how good they play in the show, right? Zay Flowers from Boston College, wide receiver to the Steelers. I still don't know how you pronounce that. Bijan Robinson, Bijan. Run back from the Longhorns, goes to the Lions. Paris Johnson Jr., offensive tackle from the Ohio State University to the Buccaneers, giving them some offensive line help immediately there. Miles Murphy, edge rusher to the Seahawks. Addison, wide receiver from the Trojans to the Chargers, staying out there in on the West Coast there in Cali. Banks, cornerback from Maryland, to the Ravens. Forbes, cornerback from Mississippi State. I don't remember their mascot. To the Vikes, Van Ness, edge rusher from Iowa. Hawkeyes to the Jaguars. Turner, cornerback, to the Giants. Michael Mayer, who from Notre Dame, tight end, who I thought would be the first tight end taken. To the Cowboys, the Daily Cowboys. Trenton Simpson, that's a fine last name. Linebacker goes to the Bills. Brian Breesy, defensive tackle to the Bengals. Cansey, defensive tackle to the Saints. Hendon Hooker, quarterback from the Tennessee Volunteers to the Seahawks. Will McDonald, edge rusher to the Chiefs, and for the last pick of the first round. It doesn't show their other round, does it? No. This is just somebody else's. Somebody else's mock draft has Stroud going first to the Panthers, and then Bryce Young. Hey, when you're the first pick, when you trade up like the Panthers did, that means you have a guy you want, and you go to number one, so you get him. Even if he's taken a little bit above where people think he should be. If you want the guy, you can certainly get it. Who do we have? An offensive lineman from Tennessee Volunteers. He has going to the Commanders. And I would be upset if they took an offensive lineman over Porter. Unless it's Paris Johnson Jr. And then still, because they're gonna need because Fuller's getting older, they're gonna need cornerbacks. Let's see. Ryan McChrystal, I don't know who any of these people are. Again, Stroud to the Panthers, and that leaves Bryce Young to the Texans. AJ would be happy about that. See, look, the Lions 6. Porter going 6 right there to the Lions. See, I'm not the only one that likes it. Who does have the Commanders having? Again, right. That's because everybody knows, because they said over and over they want to get younger in the offensive line. All right. Now, draft needs. Let's see what it says for the Commanders, and then what else did I have to do? What was I going to talk about? Let's see if I can remember after this. What do they need? A quarterback? They got their cornerbacks. Their quarterbacks, I mean. Sam Howell, again, he's QB1 until he loses it. And if he loses it, it's going to be Jacoby Brissett. There's not going to be some crazy deal they can't afford. I mean, people can do all kinds of crazy stuff and watch them do that just to spite me. But you can't trade up high enough to get one of those top quarterbacks if you're Washington. Because they got too much money going out, because you're paying all those defensive line first rounders to keep them together, which is a good idea because they do have a good defense. And then the offensive line, of course, and then cornerback, like I said. Draft capital. Alrighty, so I think that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about, I believe. Okay, I will probably do as it goes into the draft, I might do depending on like how many other free agents were signed, if any of those free agents were signed. Like I said, they're down to a trickle at this point. But maybe there'll be a little flurry of signings right before the draft. We'll see. Supposedly, like the deadline, like teams would be comfortable for trading for Aaron Rodgers would be like day 2 of the draft, so that there could be a day 2 picks included in that draft package. But yeah, so I might do something like that, and I might uh, do a thing where I draft along in Madden the same picks that the that real life does. We'll see. That'll be a pain to try to get them in close to the right order to be able to pick those. Um, yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Once again, I'm Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And if you've got money problems or just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. If you got any questions about the Ramsey advice, uh, or coaching specifically, or anything else on my YouTube channel, like football, like the Washington Commanders, like Oak Island, you can email me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com. I have that kind of time where I can answer one question for you. Channel donations, paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. Thank you so much for that, everybody that's done that. Add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. And of course, this YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. Hail to the Commanders.